The last couple of things we're going to do to this image is to add in a background and then to add in the name of the city. So to add in the background, you're going to go to the image layer, which mine's missing right now, but yours should be at the very bottom, and add a layer from the bottom up. Remember, you can drag the layers around as well if you need to, but I'm going to go and add a layer from the bottom, and I'm just going to use the rectangle tool, and this will put whatever fill color you put in the rectangle tool, it'll put it behind your scene. So you want to pick a color that obviously goes with your color scheme. A lot of people like to choose a gradient for this. So rectangle tool in the background and turn on the fill to whatever you want. So I'm going to go into my swatches. You could go into the gradient tool here, but let me show you. In the swatches menu here, there's a little library in the left corner, and they actually have gradients, and they have sky gradients and things like that. And it just depends on what you want to do for this. Because you're choosing a color scheme, so you want it to go with your color scheme. You might be able to find a sky one though that works really well with your color scheme, like this one, for instance. And then you can tweak it once it's up. So I could do a different one for the sky and the water, or just keep it continuous. If you notice, my gradient right now is going from left to right. Like, you can change it to go centrally like a radial gradient, and you can change the way the gradient moves. I'm going to keep it, actually I like the circular one, that's cool. Let's keep it left to right though, so I can show you how to change that. So right now, like, I've got these colors. If I want to make them more specific to the colors I'm already using, you can click on this color and there's the eyedropper tool and fill it. Like, I'm just sampling the colors that are already in here. I can click on this color, it's eyedropper tool, and I can fill it there. So you can really be specific with that. And maybe I'll turn down the opacity. So they have all these options. Once you get your gradient to look the way you want it to, obviously the sky usually goes from horizontally, the gradient, not side to side. So to change the direction of the gradient, you have to click on this tool over here. And when you do that, let me get off. I have to unclick the eyedropper tool. You can click and drag up and down. The shorter you click and pull, the less blended your gradient is. The longer in the direction that you pull this line, the more blended it is. And I pulled from top to bottom and went from light to dark. If I pull from up to down, it'll go from light to dark from the bottom up. So you can kind of play with that. As you can see, like these colors, actually, I'm not loving it. So maybe instead, like, you could even do a solid color in the background. I'm gonna click here. Or maybe I just needed more pink towards the bottom because it was blending. And I can also change this, changes like how it fills and how it blends as well. Oh, that looks better. So maybe I do something like that. Remember, anything that goes off the page is not going to print anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. Maybe I do a different color down here. Maybe I just keep this like a solid color or something like that. So play around with that and see what you like. The final step in this all is to do a text or the name of the city. So you're just going to go to the type tool and type, click. This was Dubai. Very tiny. I'm going to hold shift and just drag this out. But I want to choose a color and the style that fits my illustration. So remember, with the type tool, if I click on it, I can go over here and change the fonts. I could download a font if I wanted to. But I want to pick something that works. Actually, I really like this one because it's really blocky like my illustration. And I might just want to grab a color from my illustration as well. And then incorporate this somewhere that I think looks interesting. Like, maybe I have it peeking up from back here. Or maybe I put it up here and then I copy and paste it and like reflect it and have it down here. So just think about where you want it to be and how it'll work with your composition. So play around with the placement of that.